Welcome back to State of the Nation tonight on GB News with me, Matt Goodwin. Now, Donald Trump has taken aim at Keir Starmer's net zero ambitions, calling them unrealistic and urging the Labour Prime Minister to prioritise energy security by ramping up oil drilling in the North Sea. Drill, baby, drill. His comments come as a former senior MI6 official has criticised Ed Miliband's green agenda, warning that it could leave Britain dangerously exposed on the global stage. Well, with growing international scepticism and rising energy costs at home, everybody's feeling those. Many are now asking the question, is it finally time to admit that the net zero project is failing? Well, to discuss and debate this, I'm joined now by Just Stop Oil spokesman Dr. Kush. Thank you for joining us tonight. Trump's got a point. Drill, baby, drill. Why are we not drilling more in the North Sea?
Well, fossil fuels are a weapon of mass destruction. I think what's absolutely clear is that the more oil and gas that is extracted and burnt, the more dangerous the world becomes.
Based on what? What's your rationale for that? How does it become more dangerous?
Based on the fact that fossil fuel burning and the greenhouse gas emissions that come from that are the leading cause of climate breakdown.
And what share of that are we responsible for globally?
Globally?
Yeah, well, like relative to other nations, what percentage of global emissions come from the UK?
Around 5% of our total historic emissions.
Usually around 1%, isn't it?
If you're looking at current emissions, but you can't just look at current emissions. You have to look at how much have we emitted since the Industrial Revolution.
So this is where I'm confused. This is where I'm confused, right? So why are you not spending, and we all care passionately about the things that we do, but why are you not spending a lot more of your time campaigning, I don't know, in China or India, countries that are actively contributing more to emissions than the UK?
Donald Trump didn't say anything today about China or India's emissions.
No, but I'm asking
about drilling in the UK.
I'm asking you, why are we imposing net zero policies on ordinary households, on workers in this country, driving up some of the highest energy prices
because we
in the
want to
West?
bring down our bills. Actually,
but it's not happening, though, is it?
If we decarbonise, the Climate Change Committee, the UK's independent advisors to the government, tell us that we can decarbonise by 87%, and that will save households £1,400 each year in their bills. So they'll drop their energy bills by about 700 quid, and they'll drop their fuel bills by about 700 quid each year.
So just treat me like an absolute idiot that doesn't know anything about net zero. Why then do we have some of the highest energy prices in the Western world?
Because our energy prices are linked to gas.
And
gas is incredibly volatile in its international market price.
But that's only part of the increases in energy bills. There are levies, there are subsidies, there are additional taxes that are coming through this political agenda.
Yeah.
And people are beginning to understand that the increase in energy prices is now linked to this political project.
Do you know how much tax Shell, one of the world's biggest oil and gas companies, paid last year to the UK government?
Tell me.
Nothing. It actually got given more than £7 million by the tax agency here. So if you're talking about us wanting to try and bring down bills for ordinary working people, I think it's absolutely clear we need to get off oil and gas, which is incredibly volatile, unreliable, and get to actually homegrown, secure energy for the future, which is going to be wind, solar, tidal, renewables.
But isn't North Sea gas homegrown?
It is, but we can't, there is not enough North Sea gas and oil to run the energy needs that we have in this country. There simply isn't enough.
There's enough to keep drilling. There's enough to keep going for quite a few years and decades.
Yeah,
also,
but it will make absolutely no difference to the energy security for this country because that gets sold on the international market.
We talk about
and it's an insignificant amount in terms of the global supply.
We talk about energy security.
Yeah. We have a massive capacity to increase the energy production that we can have with renewables. There is no scope for realistically increasing the amount of oil and gas that we can extract from the North Sea.
And why are we inviting countries such as China to play a bigger role in our energy markets? And we've seen other Western nations, including, for example, Germany, becoming more dependent upon Russia and China in the pursuit of net zero goals. And you talk about energy market security. It doesn't seem to be secure to me to include nations such as China playing big roles in our energy markets.
Why are we inviting Donald Trump to come and give us advice on what to do with our energy policy?
Answer the question. Why are
the
our energy
only thing Donald Trump cares about is Donald Trump.
It's not about Trump.
I mean, that was the topic of the speech.
No, I'm asking you about our UK energy markets.
Yeah.
Why in the UK and other Western nations, like in Germany, have we seen the net zero push actually leave us more dependent upon our enemies than actually doing the sensible thing like using the energy supplies that we have? Just answer me, because I don't understand it. I mean,
so look, we have a skills shortage in this country. We do not have enough people who know how to fit things like heat pumps in people's homes. We don't have enough people who can manufacture solar panels. There's all sorts of problems with trying to expand renewables in this country, but that doesn't mean you don't try. That means that you need to go hell for leather and say, look, if we want to improve the living conditions of people in this country, we shift towards renewables. And yeah, that is not a straightforward thing to do.
So you accept that the energy markets are actually making us more reliant on countries like China?
Whilst we continue to depend on oil and gas, absolutely. It means that we're...
The same country that almost just completely decimated what remains of our steel industry.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a good thing, is it?
No, absolutely not. But we can build our own wind turbines. We can build our own solar panels. There's nothing stopping us from doing that, apart from the fact that we are falling behind because we're not training up enough of our own workers to do so. There's nothing inherent about the production of solar panels that means that they can only be done in China. However, when it comes to fossil fuels, actually, we rely exactly on what geology has given us. We will rely on countries like Russia and Saudi Arabia. So if you want...
And also reserves that we have here on these islands that we refuse to actually drill and access, not to mention the lack of fracking that's going on, which could create lots of jobs in this country and contribute to the economy. But it's an interesting debate. It's a debate that's going to continue. Dr. Kush Naker, we really appreciate having you on this evening. Now, up next, as we move forward, Britain's strictest headmistress, Catherine Birbalsingh, has said that transgender children are, get this, white and privileged. Is the gender movement just a pastime for posh kids? We're going to be debating that in just a minute.